cursed luck. Well, well. Distinguished guests.
For the love of God. Does it have to be him?
Trust me, friend.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
We need to have a word with you.
Would your graces care to sit?
I think not.
What brings you to my humble rectory, gentlemen?
Are you all packed, Godwin? I heard you got kicked out of your humble rectory.
Your concern is really touching, Hanush. Did you come to see me off, or to help me do my laundry?
Watch your mouth, priest. You might end up losing more than your parish.
Easy, my friend. Don't let him get you all worked up.
I'd like to teach him a good lesson.
But that's not why we're here.
Bah!
Well, why are you here, then?
We have a secret mission for you.
I'm all ears, Sir Radzik.
Do you know about Lord Capon's mission?
Aye. I heard a word or two about that. Where was it you sent him? Trotsky?
Yes, to Sir Otto von Bergoff's castle.
Royal Chamberlain von Berger? The League of Lords fella?
You know more than I'd expect from you.
It doesn't surprise me. I also know that Trotsky is about 3 days' ride away.
2 days, weather permitting.
The young lord should have been back long since then, shouldn't he?
He should. But he's not.
And now you want me to find out why he's not here yet.
That's right. You'll go to Trotsky and see if anything's happened to him.
All right. I'll do it.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. I won't rest until my nephew is safely back in Perkstein.
When should I go?
Right away.
Fuck! Did they have to lock us up in here of all places? I have a feeling these walls are moving. The cell is getting smaller and smaller. Can you hear me? Let me out! Hey! Hear me!
Give it a rest. No one's come in.
I feel like we're going to be crushed here.
Well, that ought to bring us closer together.
Very droll. I just don't like these kind of places.
Like jails. Not a lot of people do.
No, I suppose they don't. Listen here, Henry. I wanted to say, well, that I'm glad to see you again. Henry?
After all, as you know, I'm just a common dung grubber, while you're the great Bellatore.
Bellator. But I was stupid to think like that. It was stupid. But now I'm sitting here too for behaving like a Bellator. I might have left you in it.
Yeah, you might.
Nevertheless, Henry, I wanted to say that, well, you were right. I behaved badly. Awfully.
All right. I accept your apology. All water under the bridge, eh? Old pal.
Thanks. So, what were you getting up to the whole time, anyway?
I was working in the blacksmith's forge in Takov.
Oh, well, lucky for you, you have a trade you could work at.
Sort of. Most of the time I was actually chasing after lost carts or scrambling over the rocks looking for hermits.
Well, at least you weren't bored, eh?
Well, you haven't been idle. Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, envoy to the royal hetman, and poacher.
Only commoners poach. I was hunting in the territory of another noble. Without his permission, admittedly.
But that's a capital crime.
Ah, bollocks! Nothing to worry about.
Heaven help us.
Shh, quiet! There's something going on outside the door.
Have you seen Captain Thomas? Yarrick says he's in a bad way.
He's right. Them fuckers cut him up good.
Last I heard from Father Nicodemus, though, was that his wounds are healing.
Aye. Only he's been struck down by a fever. And the Sawbones is away with Sir Otto.
Good God!
Captain Thomas! Yes! He met us before we reached the pond, didn't he? We showed him our letter.
But he's in a fever. You heard them.
Oh, we'll deal with that somehow. Hey!
Leave it be.
Hey! Open up, you rabble! We're messengers from Ratai. Your captain can confirm it. Do you hear?
Again?
Those damned fools won't give us any peace.
Come on, fellas! Be reasonable! We're envoys of the Lord of Lipa!
About time. Just you wait till Lord von Berghoff hears how you treat a noble.
You, come with me to the courtyard. Chamberlain says we ain't gonna waste bread on you for nothing. We've got a job for you.
What about me? I want to talk to the captain right now.
You want to talk to God, fella. You're getting the gallows for poaching.
What? You can't hang a nobleman.
Jesus, wait! Hear that? That bell's tolling for you, mate. 12 more times, and the priest will come for you. Hans!
But you can't!
Hans, don't worry, I'll fix it! Move it!
I'm a nobleman! Do you hear me? I'm a noble! I'm Sir Hans Capon of Bergstein.
So, if you want to get out of here, you'll have to make amends and work off your debt. For a start, you can carry all the charcoal from this wagon up to the store.
Wait, though. What's going to happen with Capon?
With that madman? He was poaching, so he'll swing.
But he really is a noble.
Ain't you a bit old for fairy tales, son? Once the bell tolls for the 12th time, it won't matter a damn who he used to be anyway. If you want to do something for him, pray. And best pretend you don't know him.
Your Captain Thomas can testify that we're envoys from Ratai. It's the truth, I swear.
Don't you say a word about our captain. We don't know if the poor fellow will live to see morning. They moved him during the night to the chapel at the very top of the Maiden. It seems only God can help him now.
And can I go there? I really have to talk with Captain Thomas.
Don't fucking annoy me, fella. You got off lightly so far, believe me.
What? You won't even let me pray in the chapel?
We will not. You're not allowed inside at all. And don't let me catch you snooping around there.
Why did they move your captain to the chapel? All that way up?
So he'd be closer to God. Either the good Lord will help him or take him to his bosom. The captain's in a really bad way. And our Sawbones is away with Lord von Berghoff.
What about my things? You took everything away from me.
That's what happens to people in jail. When we set you free, you'll get your stuff back. In the worst case, we might keep something to cover the damages you caused at the wedding. Got it?
Got it. Do you always ring the bells before an execution?
Aye, it's a local custom. They say back in the past, the local lord slept through a scheduled execution, and they had to release the condemned man. Don't worry, that won't happen today.
What happens when I'm done with this?
What do you reckon? You'll get another job, and when there's no more work for you, you can bugger off wherever you like.
That's all?
Aye? What'd you expect? The axe? Lord von Berghoff is strict, but he ain't a tyrant. But poaching now, that's another matter.
I'll get to work then.
Good lad. The store's up by the gate to the inner bailey. Orsina the blacksmith is idling around somewhere there. He'll think up some job for you. Or go down to the outer bailey where they're building the scaffold near the gate. They'll be working up there for sure. And no wandering around where you're not allowed. Don't stick your nose inside the castle. Got it?
Yeah. Got it.
Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
And why wouldn't they when it's true? It'll be bad, I tell you.
I don't know. Seems to me it's always the same. Bad.
Well, it'll be even worse. Look, there's a rabble running rampant over the country. I hear what you're saying.
Leave it alone, would you?
Wedding night.
It was nice.
Clear as a bell. Everything was fine as long as we had a king.
We still got a king, though.
You're not allowed in here, vagabond. If you want a bite to eat, go to the kitchen in the car.
I don't want to hear any of that. Someone will overhear.
Wedding night.
It was nice. It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
Someone might really take an interest in your opinion about the Chamberlain.
You're not wrong there.
That's that.
He might not be so hard on folk if they tried a little... harder, though. You know, Master Ulrich is tortured with...
I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
How should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, and that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman here, understand?
I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith. A respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what. Go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom. Always bothering me that he don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
Well, it depends. Usually 4, but once there was a 3-legged foal born in our village.
All right. You're a fool, but maybe you're a handy one. So go and make 1 horseshoe for the groom, all right?
But a horse has 4.
Aye, but Kabat's missing just 1, and I ain't going to waste more on him.
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right, but I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Lads!
It was nice. Good food and drink.
Hey, Wojtek, we've still got work to do. Come and help.
Can't you see I'm talking to someone?
I ain't seen you here. Are you new and all? Well, I'm Magda.
I'm Henry.
It's great to have some new lads here.
Oh, aye. Henry, how about you bugger off? I wouldn't want a repeat of our last disagreement.
Me neither. But all I care about is you giving me a hand. Those sacks won't carry themselves.
I'll just finish what I'm discussing with Magda and I'll be right with you.
Are you also helping Wojtek's uncle?
What uncle?
Wojtek here said he's helping his uncle, Osina the blacksmith.
Sure. Me and Wojtek are helping his uncle. And I'm sure Wojtek's uncle would rather he stopped gabbing and gave me a hand.
I wouldn't want to keep you lads from your work. Take care then.
Thanks a lot. Are you on some kind of mission to ruin my fucking life?
You should thank me for not saying what you're really doing here. And now come and give me a hand.
That's just great. Ah! Sackler!
What a waste of money. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that, of course. Well... What I reckon was...
Hail Mary.
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
One vagabond isn't the same as another, sir. It can be hard to tell the difference between beggars and us students from Prague, but we have a bit of knowledge.
And what are you doing here? Prague is a long way off.
I'm here to gain experience. Our professors encouraged us to travel the world, but I ran out of coin and things went from bad to worse.
Mm-hmm. And where did you study?
Prague University, of course. So far, I've completed the Septem Artes Liberalis, and I'm getting ready for the Quadrivium.
Oh. Well, my nephew had some difficulties with arithmetic in the Quadrivium.
Oh, I understand. It's a difficult subject, and I'm a bit anxious about it myself. Nevertheless, although I don't have a degree in medicine, I have learned a few things.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh. And these attacks, have you noticed whether something sets them off?
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worst in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Tell me, sir, what do you usually eat?
Well, I often eat from the banquet table.
So, a lot of roasted game?
Yes, and pâtés, goose, duck. I dine as befits my status.
I see. Sir, I'm afraid you have a stomach ulcer. If it's not treated, you could even die of it.
Good God! What should I do?
The main thing is a strict diet. No fatty or heavy foods. In other words, nothing from the banquet table. You have to eat boiled white meat, poultry or fish, lots of vegetables, and gruel.
Gruel? Like a...
Yes, like the common folk. And another thing, you mustn't get angry, under any circumstances.
What? I mean, what?
That's the way. Oh, and I'll get you a herbal potion. I know exactly what will do you good.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I don't have the required remedy. And unfortunately, I don't see how I can brew it here. I don't have the necessary equipment.
You're free to use the surgeon's apparatus in his study. It's upstairs in the Crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so. But I was told to stay only in the outer courtyard. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. Besides caring for your mortal coil, the well-being of your soul shouldn't be neglected, sir.
What do you mean by that?
I think I could pray for your health. A word to angels to ask for their intercession can work miracles. The greatest Christian physicians recommend healing in both the material and spiritual world. And you have a very nice chapel here.
Father Nicodemus takes care of that. What I want from you is medicine, not talking to angels. Got it?
Yes. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Ow!
Be hanging around here, friend. That's it! Go away!
When you need him, he vanishes like the wind. Where's that fool of a blacksmith?
First bell. Another 11 to go.
Miserable blacksmith. Where is he now? Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind. Miserable blacksmith. 'Cause 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 ' day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind.
To take care of your good servant, Captain Thomas. Thomas is a virtuous, faithful, and good Christian. I beg you, hear him, and all other soldiers of Christ.
Crucifix!
Well,
Where's that black...
this one's gonna need some more work.
That miserable blacksmith! Where is he now? That damn wretch! That miserable blacksmith! Where is he now?
Your only begotten Son, upon himself our wrongdoings, and showed us the power of enduring pain with fortitude. Look down upon our Captain Thomas, with a father's love.
Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith?
Let them know that they are not alone.
If you're after some left...
The second toll for Hans. Let me pass. The Master Chamberlain isn't well, and he sent me to the surgeon's study for medicine.
All right then, but nothing better go missing there.
Don't worry.
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I work here, genius.
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
I'm Henry.
Well, that's nice for you.
And you are?
I already told you. I'm a maid here.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
You know I was locked up? Oh, for such an uncaring girl, your interest is a bit suspicious.
Right. I spend the whole day following you and the arrogant fool around, spying on you.
That's exactly what I think.
Well, think again.
I'm still not sure who you are.
Yeah, that would be because I haven't told you.
I need help.
Who doesn't? I still have to clean out all the fireplaces in the Crown. Do you know how many there are?
I don't know or care. I was sent here by the Chamberlain. He wants me to help him with his stomachache.
That slimy toad. If he doesn't watch out, his stomach will be the least of his worries.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
I'm not stupid. You've no business here. You're snooping around in the surgeon's stuff and God knows what else. It could land you in trouble.
Oh, yeah? How?
Well, for instance, I could take something here. Don't forget, I might be slaving here today, but tomorrow they'll get fed up with me and they'll probably kick me out by morning. And you'll still be here. So it'll be on you. For sure someone saw you coming here.
And you too, no?
Well, there's quite a big difference between you and me. The guards don't pay much attention to me, but you...
I get it. Sometimes it's an advantage.
And sometimes not. So, to the point.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me in there?
Then tough luck. But you can go and have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does. Maybe he gave someone something that might be of interest to you.
All right. Thanks.
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables, the grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait. I brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here. So either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Not quite. I'd also like to know if you've still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Isn't there maybe something I could do for you in exchange?
Well, since you're offering, I lost something playing dice and I'd like to have it back. A very nice turquoise rosary.
Who did you lose it to?
Father Nicodemus. That priest rolls dice like the devil himself was guiding his hand.
Don't worry. I'll get it for you.
But with no trouble, all right?
Naturally.
My God, what now?
Do you know where Captain Thomas is? I heard he was in a bad way.
It's true, son. It doesn't look good for him. Why do you ask?
I'd like to pray with him.
A kind thought, but you can't get to Thomas. I had him moved during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden.
Why can't I get there?
You know, the castle chapel is an important place. Only Lord von Berghoff, his kin, and a few others are allowed there.
Like you, for instance?
Naturally. It's certainly good of you to want to pray for Thomas, but you can do that anywhere without having to disturb him.
Why did you take him to the chapel?
The surgeon is away with Lord von Berghoff, and Thomas has got considerably worse. I don't like to say it, but there's nothing left but to pray for a miracle.
Uh-huh. I'll be going then.
Go, and don't forget about that prayer.
The third toll. I better get moving. Sir, about those health problems of yours.
Yes?
I have exactly what you need, sir. Sir, I'd recommend that you take this digestive potion to settle your stomach. Take it after every meal, and don't forget, a good diet, and do not get upset.
All right. Thanks, then.
And now you ought to go and lie down, sir.
Lie down? Me? Ha! Without me, this place would grind to a standstill.
Sir, medicine isn't enough. You also need rest. Otherwise my potion won't have much effect.
Oh, all right then. I'll try it.
And another thing. I don't want to bother you, sir, but I have a question.
Yes? What is it?
Couldn't I go and pray in your chapel?
Ah, that again. Good heavens. Go where you want, boy. I'll inform the guards.
Thank you, sir. I have that rosary for you. It's very nice.
Great. Let's have a look.
Here you have it.
Good fella. Here's a bit of equipment for you in exchange. I don't suppose I'll be needing it again.
Nice.
Did you hear about what happened at the bakery? At the mill? Yeah.
God be with you. What would you like?
I was told to come and ask you for a job.
Nice timing. Do you know anything about carpentry?
No, blacksmithing is more my field.
Ah, well, that's handy. I got the job of fixing up this here scaffold, so it don't collapse when we hang that poacher. But the whole thing is fucked. I need a good carpenter's axe. There's one broadaxe in the shed, but it's as blunt as a file. Of course, Osina didn't find time all year to hone the thing.
But that poacher is innocent.
An innocent poacher? But that's nothing to do with me. My job is to make sure it don't collapse when he swings.
I could help you with that.
You could? Well, that'd be great. Go and get it from the shed, sharpen it, and bring it back to me.
Sure thing. Here it is. Hope it's good.
Sharp as a skinning knife. Nice. Without your help, the scaffold could well collapse under that poacher. And nobody wants that.
And isn't it all the same whether he hangs or gets crushed by fallen timber?
Certainly not. For one thing, it would be a disgrace, because someone would have to finish him off, and no one wants to dirty their hands with that. And more importantly, I'd have to rebuild the damn thing all over again. You can't imagine how that would spoil my day.
I think I can, actually.
Anyway, thanks. I can't afford to fuck things up today. The Chamberlain is as tetchy as the devil.
Isn't he always?
Yeah, but even more today. Anna the laundress said he's got bellyache. Everyone is avoiding him like the plague.
Uh-huh. Would you happen to know how I can get into the Maiden?
And what would you want in there?
I want to pray in the chapel. And they don't want to let me in.
The chapel, eh? Well, I'll be damned. I know one hand by the name of Binyek that wanted into the castle too. But for a damn different reason.
And did he succeed? In getting in, I mean?
Aye, he did. He climbed down into the well in the courtyard. See, there's caves under Tursky, and the well ain't actually a well, but an underground pool in one of them caves. And from there, you can get to the dungeons, and then into the Maiden.
Oh, he sounds bold.
Oh, aye, but they still caught him and gave him a whipping. And when they found out how he done it, they took the cleats out of the well wall.
What does that mean?
That the next Binyek would have to jump in and not climb down. I wouldn't fancy that.
Indeed. What was Binyek after in the castle?
A certain buxom chambermaid who wouldn't give him what he was after in the hay and wanted a fine feather bed.
You don't mind building a scaffold for an innocent man?
No, such matters ain't my concern. The lords decide. I just build the scaffold. A fella has to know his place in this world, like my old pa used to say.
I'll be going.
I've got to get back to work too. God be with you.
Fourth bell. Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days, and the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
What actually happened to him?
They were attacked by bandits by the pond. His mare, Arrow, brought him home. He was completely out of it. And little wonder, the way he was hacked up. If the surgeon was here, he'd be in his care. Some of his wounds have healed, but now he has a fever. He's been bedridden for 3 days.
I'm sorry. Oh, Christ. But this is a matter of life and death. Thomas is the only one who can testify to what happened.
Yes, it's a matter of life and death for my brother. I want him to rest. Besides which, he's delirious and can't tell you anything.
Maybe I could help somehow?
The only one who can help now is the priest. And I don't want to sound gloomy, but all he can do is pray too. Just the same as me.
Where's the physician?
He's with Lord von Berghoff. When Thomas started to get feverish, he left some concoction for him. He was only meant to be gone for a while, but it seems they got stuck somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, the concoction ran out, and we don't have any other physician here.
I'm not a physician, but I could try and brew that concoction. It can't hurt to try. Do you know what it was brewed from?
If I knew that, I'd have brewed it myself. Not even our surgeon knows. He does everything according to his books. He uses some medical manuscript, whether he's treating people or livestock.
And where is this book?
How should I know? Probably in his chambers, in the Crown.
I'll have a look there then.
But no one is allowed there.
I'll figure it out somehow.
Why do you want to help us?
Well, unless Thomas recovers and testifies that me and my friend are messengers from Ratai, then my friend will be executed.
You mean that poacher who's to be hanged?
He's a noble. Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. The whole thing is one big misunderstanding. And only Thomas can sort it out.
I'm a bit bewildered by all this. But all right.
The main thing is, I want Thomas to live too.
Yes, you're right.
I'll get going then. I don't have much time, and neither does Thomas.
Go. And thank you.
Excuse me.
Aren't you supposed to be helping out?
Grub you're after. You'll have to wait. I've been...
I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here. Or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
I can see if I've got anything to eat on me.
Hey, I need some decent grub, not some mouldy bread.
You might be surprised.
Thanks. Well, at least I won't starve.
You're welcome. Enjoy it. The bell's ringing for hands the 5th time. The 6th bell. Half the time is up.
Lovely new bow the other day for a great price.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
It will have to be diluted. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
You all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug, the worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Ratoi.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But, sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately!
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Ratai, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it?
Your Chamberlain's welcome was appropriate enough, considering our appearance, the situation in your domain, and your orders, sir.
Ah. I appreciate your diplomacy, young man. Master Chamberlain Ulrich can sometimes be more hasty and passionate than is healthy. And we are glad you hold no grudge against him. Are we not, Ulrich?
I regret what happened, gentlemen. Please accept my humblest apologies.
Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Ratai showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy.
But we can all point the finger. Your League of Lords, on the other hand, abducted the king. Although I don't doubt your reasons, just as Sir Hanush did.
We certainly had. The main one being that your Wenzel is an irresponsible drunkard and idler who is hurting the Empire by his inactivity. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
Well, betray is a strong word. We came to you, Sir Otto, because you're the leading voice of the League of Lords. I expect there are also lords among your ranks who are considering how to find a way out of this sticky situation. And for the Kingdom of Bohemia, it would certainly be better if our paths were to join rather than parting.
Your companion speaks like a diplomat, Sir Hans. However, the question is whether it's possible to join fire with water and end up with anything but nasty smoke. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzik are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy, so we have common interests too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed, you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather a fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. And it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur. As he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called István Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your, equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount. And therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish.